Hello, fellow movie crusaders. Welcome to another episode of Sean's Movie Crusades. My name is Sean Wasserkrug, and it is part 6. Yes, we have done 6 of these, and we still have like 4 or 5 more to go of the Movie Crusaders ride through the Star Wars galaxy. As today we are finishing off the original trilogy with Return of the Jedi. We got a great panel today. 2 of these faces you're going to remember from our last episode, and one of them you guys remember from the last part 3 of a trilogy. Jay Burns, my Jedi, my Jedi brother, how are you doing today? And why are you wearing a Pikachu head?
Again, we've gone over this. Pokemon are the Ewoks of the Pokemon universe, especially Pikachu's. Look at them; they have dead eyes, and they will eat somebody. Okay, 100%, 100%. Other than that, I've had ups and downs today, and kind of a massive panic attack for like 3 hours after we did something else for the channel, and I've just been trying to cool. So, yeah.
Well, I hope we're talking about Ewoks, Return of the Jedi, and how much Luke Skywalker is on the
Jedi. Return of the Jedwoks.
I hope that this makes you feel better.
Now you got to find a picture of a fucking Ewok holding a lightsaber.
I don't think
Return of the Jedi.
Yes.
If you can find that, send it to me because I don't think that's a real thing. Right below him, Doug Castle. You're on the Revenge of the Sith panel. It was a blast, even though you and Jay went into a very long rant that we had to edit out about Mandalorian. How are you doing, man? Are you ready to talk about Return of the Jedi?
Oh, I'm ready, man. I'm ready. It's gonna be amazing.
Oh, that's amazing.
It's gonna be so amazing. I'm so excited.
Jay, send me that photo so I can make it big, so for the people on the chat, so they can see what you did.
I will send it to you right now.
Hold on.
This is great. This is great television, guys.
I know. Dead air.
Yes. So
it's a good thing. It's a good thing we aren't live, right?
Yeah. But yeah. So right below me, Kevin, your 3rd episode with us here today. Kevin, you ready to talk Return of the Jedi?
Absolutely, Sean. Ready to talk Return of the Jedi and wrap up the original trilogy and see what we have in store.
All right. So yes, Return of the Jedi. I would say out of the trilogy, this is probably the least liked, but it's still loved by many for the most part. What's funny is whenever I watched this as a kid, I always thought this was like the shortest one, but it's actually the longest. I don't know, like if I always like every time I was like, oh, Return of the Jedi, it's like an hour 40. It's like, no, it's 2:10. It's the longest one. But yeah, we'll go to Douglas first because we haven't heard from him in a while. Douglas, what was your general thoughts of Return of the Jedi?
I mean, right now, Return of the Jedi is probably like my 3rd or 4th favorite movie. Depending on when it sometimes flips. Depending on what I'm really, interested in. But I don't hate this movie. I actually really like this movie.
All right. Kevin, what are your general thoughts of Return of the Jedi?
My general thoughts, I like how they kind of took what they've used in 4 and 5, humanizing Vader. They brought Palpatine to the front to make him the main bad guy, and Lucas just made it where there were, I don't know, I do feel like there were a lot of extra characters that were added, but I think that was because Jim Henson's puppet crew was brought in. So other than that, I mean, I think it's a great film. I love it. I like the old style of everything, and I like the way it wraps up. So like Doug, this one ranks pretty high up on my list of Star Wars episodes. So yeah, overall, I like number 6.
All right. And Pika J, thoughts on Return of the Jedi?
I don't hate Return of the Jedwoks all that much. Yikes, there is some stuff in this movie though. But Richard Marquand takes over and does a really good job for like what Irvin Kershner did for Empire Strikes Back. You know, he had to find that middle ground between like a super dark note and like a happier end for this, because at the point in time it was the final movie. We, you know, schoolyard rumors abound regardless. This was the only movie that we were going to get for almost the next 20 years. We didn't even know that we were going to get any more. So he had to find a way to kind of make it a happy ending. Maybe not in like the best sense, but I like this movie. But I like all of the original trilogy.
Mm.
You know, this is my third, you know, this is my least liked out of the original trilogy, but like, I mean, still,
yeah,
it's still, you know, it's above Attack of the Clones.
Not necessary.
No, you look like you needed an umbrella, but it's cool.
Ella,
you didn't need it because I just talked all that shade at you.
And your favorite character is the biggest bitch of them all. But
That's
anyway, we'll get
fine.
to that. We'll get to
the
that.
biggest bitch that goes out like the biggest pimp. Boom. What? Suck a dick. Suck a dick.
Does he?
He does though.
He doesn't last.
He does though.
He doesn't last.
Debatable.
But anyway,
no, it's not.
Very debatable.
No, it's not at all. You guys are high.
save
You guys are bullying me.
Okay, save the last Jedi talk for when you go against Kirk. But yeah, so going into the actual film, to kind of start the way it ended with Return of the Jedi, where Return of the Jedi, the Empire were winning. We got that long shot of hope from Luke as he was creepily, you know, putting his arm over Leia.
Up, girl?
He talked about like, "What's up, home?" Yeah,
This is how they knew it wasn't fleshed out yet. Han's fleshed out.
Han's not here anymore. Let's do this thing. But we open up kind of almost the same way as A New Hope did, where we get, you know, the pan down. We see a planet, you know, on the bottom, and then we get the Star Destroyer. But this time out, we are seeing the new Death Star being built. And then instead of the Star Destroyer shooting at a ship, we see the drop down of the Imperial ship, and then the first time in this trilogy, or ever in a sense, the actual physical embodiment form of Emperor Palpatine. Plus, we get the first introduction to the Red Imperial Guards that I really wish they should have actually done something with them, because they looked badass and were just completely not used. They were just window dressing. But yeah, so Jay, just to continue on with you, thoughts on the first physical view? I mean, we saw him on like Videocom in Empire,
yeah,
but physical form of Emperor Palpatine. What were your thoughts when you
it's definitely not an actress in a chimp mask painted. That's my first thought. Like, legitimately, like they did what they had to do in Empire when they did that, and it was voiced by Clive Revel. But you know, 16 years later, they come through and they still, or you know, 21 years later, 19 years later, when they come out with Attack of the Clones, and they or 22 years later, 2005, 22 years later, when they finally hit him. And
Attack of the Clones was 2002.
No, I know. I'm talking 2005 when they actually turned Papa Palp's face into
what it looks like in Return of the Jedi. They did a really good job with that makeup right there. Plus Ian McDiarmid, like, he's, for a stage actor that nobody had really heard of before this, like, he kind of sealed his, you know, his role as the Emperor. Like, he's just there, and you can tell that he's supposed to be this domineering individual, even though he looks frail and old and fucked up. He just, I don't know, maybe it's the chair he's sitting in, you know, it's the space Iron Throne, I don't know, but like, you can tell that power just emanates from this cat. And I think people get intimidated by that. I loved this scene. Well, that, and he shoots fucking lightning out of his fingertips. But yes, but we don't see that till later. Doug, what was your thoughts on Palpatine when he does actually show up in the film?
Like when you see him for the first time, it's like, just like Jay said, it's super intimidating. He is this presence, this all encumbrance of evil. Like, it's something that, like, I remember seeing this movie when I was like, I want to say 7 or 8. And like, he was a scary figure. I mean, more so than Vader almost, because you could see his face and see the expressions he was making and how dead he was.
Well, that like, and Vader bows down to him. So
that's the crazy thing.
Vader bow down is an entirely different person in general.
Yeah, what you see Vader basically kill somebody off in the first 5 minutes of A New Hope, and then you see Vader bow down to this guy, answer to this guy. It's kind of the same thing with Tarkin. What made Tarkin so scary was that Vader technically answered to him.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, what power do you have that I don't know about?
That makes the most scariest person in the galaxy bow to you.
Yes. Mm-hmm. And basically you own him. Like, what do you have? And it's scary. I mean, it's something that's intimidating and scary. And, you know, it's just the first time you see his face, it's so eerie. Like, it's like, what happened to you? That's why I kind of was glad when we got to see in Revenge of the Sith what happened to his face and why it was disfigured like that. But it's like, seeing it for the first time, it was a shocking, no pun intended, visual.
Was it more shocking than his vinegar strokes?
No, nothing's more shocking than his vinegar strokes.
I mean, that's literally what happened to his face. Is his unlimited power got off in his face.
Unlimited power
over his face.
Yeah.
Kevin, what were your thoughts on Palpatine when he finally shows up in the in physical form in Return of the Jedi?
Same as Doug. It's so different from what we've seen before. We've established this masked robotic figure with a robotic voice, and now we have this frail, short, older man, and we wonder, why is this all-powerful robotic man? Why is he the lackey now? Why is he scared and bowing to this guy? And so it opens up a whole new can of worms. What powers does he hold? And where are we going to go with this? So I feel like that kind of sets the tone for the movie, and allows us to have a plot, basically, on the dark side, at least.
Yeah, and I just realized that Palpatine doesn't show up at the beginning of the film. That's actually Vader.
Yeah.
It's Vader that pops up at the beginning, basically saying, well, the Emperor is mad at you for being behind. But yeah, I figured, you know what? Palpatine does show up later, and might as well just talk
when they do the slow walk.
Exactly. So that's fine. We got that out of the way. But yeah, it's Vader shows up, basically says that you guys are taking forever to do the Death Star, and the Emperor's not going to be happy because he's on his way, which we just discussed that. And then we are back at Tatooine, first time since A New Hope, and we get 3PO and R2 walking up to Jabba's palace. And I've always loved what? Why are you shaking your head?
Because there's something that happens here in like the next 4 minutes in this movie that is just completely unnecessary.
Are you talking about the special edition version?
Yes.
Okay. Before we get to that, as a kid, like I said, I would say if there's ever a Star Wars movie that was more towards kids, it was this one.
The first half of this movie.
Yeah, but the Jabba part, I say, is more dedicated towards kids, and then obviously Endor. I personally always loved the I mean, it's not the door answer thing and Tatooine. I always loved that guy.
You're talking about the eyeball, the eyeball droid.
Yeah, the way he talks to 3PO, and 3PO is like just getting scolded by this thing. But I also loved the Jay and Doug, help me with the names. The
Inquisitor robot.
The bodyguard stud Jabba, the like warhog, the green warhog.
The Morians.
Yeah, I just love the way they look. The designs were just really, really cool. But I mean, everything about Jabba's palace, like as R2 and 3PO go in there, we're just seeing kind of like when we first went to the cantina in A New Hope. We're seeing all these new characters. We're seeing all these new aliens. And
you
it's
see Greedo's sister.
Yes, you do. You see Greedo's sister. And you got the one dude who's Jabba's number 2, where they'll say he's got like a snake.
Bib Fortuna.
Yeah, Bib Fortuna.
He's a Twi'lek. Those are his head fucking. Those are his Leku.
Yeah, I know.
That's what they're called, Leku.
I know, but when I was a kid, I was just like, it looks like a snake. It's just like, but
you also get Salacious B. Crumb, the Kowakian monkey lizard.
Yeah.
Also
you
get
mean
the
most important person in the world?
No,
the Max Rebo band.
Yeah, the Max Rebo band. Oh my god, we're gonna get to that. We haven't got
according,
there.
According to Mandalorian, they taste like chicken. Because you can see them cooked in Mandalorian's first episode, which I was like, yes, I hate those little creatures. But yeah, I love Jabba's palace, and like I said, we'll get to the part that Jay wants to talk about. But I just loved all the introduction to all these new characters, because we didn't really get that in Empire. Empire was pretty human centric, outside of like the Tauntauns and the Wampa and Yoda. Whereas this movie, we're getting
the Minox and the Exogorth also.
What do you mean, Lobot? Lobot was
human.
Lobot's basically a human. But yeah, and then of course this is the first time we actually, if you don't count special editions, it's also the first time we saw Jabba.
Yes.
A giant. Yes. So Kevin, what's your thoughts of Jabba's palace? Like the initial introduction to Jabba's palace, you see in all these characters, Jabba, all the creatures that surround Jabba. What were your thoughts on that?
This part is the part that I was referencing about them bringing in the Jim Henson Muppet crew, our puppet crew, and I feel like it was overwhelming from a sense of where we have been. I feel like it was just a recycled Mos Eisley. We got the parts we needed out of how much do you want for Chewie, the Boosh stuff, all that, but I feel like a lot of the stuff was really unnecessary. I think that stems from them not having enough of it, enough script, and needing to just produce filler.
Doug,
and to sell more toys, basically.
Doug, what were your thoughts on
Dude, I love this scene. In all honesty, this is what made me love the scum and villainy section of like Star Wars. Like, it was like, I want to learn more about these. I want a film in this era. Like, I want a mafioso type film with Jabba the Hutt just like running everything. Why is he
directed by Martin Scorsese? They'll spend they'll spend a majority of that, and so they'll spend a majority of that budget de-aging fucking Jabba the Hutt.
Well, considering he's not an actual actor, you could just probably, I don't know, make him a puppet.
No, because the other half of the budget would be spent on making Jabba the Hutt an actual thing. And then aging him, and then digitally de-aging him.
But, I mean, next to, like, the bounty hunters that you see in Empire, you see more here. And it's like, I really wanted that. I wanted more bounty hunters. I wanted, we'll get to another scene that I really disliked later in the line, because it took a character that had so much potential and kind of just flushed him down the drain, which Star Wars kind of has the history of doing.
That's literally their bread and butter.
Exactly.
Phasma, anybody? But I really wanted that section. As a kid, when I saw this movie, I was like, I want to find out more about those characters. So I read books about those characters, and it got me more intrigued into the world. I know a lot of people are like, it was to sell toys and everything, as Kevin stated. But for me, it was, I wanted to find out about these characters. I was inquisitive about them because I thought it was really cool. I thought they had more to them than what they were letting on. And in the Legends books that I've read, they do. It's really cool. No, I enjoy the scene, the build up. We're talking about the scene before we get to the Sarlacc pit, right?
Yeah, this is
Like,
this is
okay.
literally just
This is
R2
before we've
and
even
Cisco walking
invented
This is just an
in.
overview, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
this
okay.
is-
Okay, then I won't deep dive into it. But like I said, it introduces you to the scum and villainy, and it's like their characters, once you find out who they are really kind of cool.
Mhm.
So,
Jay, thoughts?
So I don't dislike a lot of this. A lot of what I dislike actually happens to come after this. This is the scene where after they come through, you've got Boosh coming in and trying to barter with Jabba for Han Solo. I love the introduction to Jabba's palace. It's one thing that we'd never really seen, like a large structure that was on a planet that like you get to see the inside of, that is a criminal organization's hideout. Boosh coming through, and we all know who Boosh actually is.
Well, Boosh actually comes in after the scene that you want to talk about, so let's hold off on Boosh.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
One thing also too.
Yesterday. Fuck.
The other thing is that we see a robot torture room. It's just like, it's just like, okay, it's like they're droids, but apparently you can torture droids. Like they have
you can
in their feet.
You know who that was, by the way?
Who?
George Lucas.
What doing what?
The voice
Of the torture? Or the guy like
of the
running
torture droid.
Oh, that.
Yeah, that's him.
I mean,
that makes it even funnier to me. And he.
Sorry,
go ahead, Doug. Oh, I was just gonna say he even brings up. He's like, so I guess it means that that robots do have feelings, and I'm just like, okay.
Well, you can, because they're sentient beings.
Yeah.
They're not just robots anymore. They're not just robots. They're actual sentient beings that learn and grow.
Because the reason why we brought that up, Doug, was that through the first New Hope, Brian, who was on the show, was basically just like they're treated like second-class citizens.
I said
that. Oh, you said that. Sorry, Jay.
That was me.
But Brian was like, well, yeah, they're droids, and it was just like, no.
Well, that's the thing that like a lot of people, the subcontext, I think that a lot of people didn't pick up when they watched it maybe back in the day, but like you go through it now, it's like trying to kill a dog or being.
How can you say BB-8 isn't?
BB-8 is sentient. Like
how could you say that?
Like R2-D2 sentient. He helps move along the story, and he's a brain that continues to grow. We can do it with 3PO because 3PO is a douchebag. But still in the same, they're sentient beings, and it's for me to watch that scene now. I'm like, it's really fucked up what they're doing. Like I like the scum and villainy section of it, but I'm like, they're trying to torture these droids that have loyalty, not just like they're loyal to their master, they're loyal to their friends. You see it. I don't want to go way past it, but you see it in the trailer of 9, where CPO says his friends. He considers Han Solo a friend, Leia a friend. For me, it's like these were Lucas's kind of like the writers and everybody kind of just trying to prove like second-class citizens shouldn't be treated this way. There are no second-class citizens. We're all kind of equal. Okay. Sorry, I didn't mean to take so deep dive on that. It's just it's something that's always stuck with me. Even when I saw episode 4, I'm like, the Jawas are like broken and prodded. The one droid's broken down, and he's like, "Oh, I don't want that." It's like these things are sentient, and we're like treating them like garbage, like literal garbage, and it's always stuck with me. Like, it's one thing.
And Cloud City, he gets broken apart and thrown in the trash.
Right? I'm like, oh my god! Like, what are you doing? Like, sorry.
Which is why. And Jay and all of them made fun of me in the New Hope, like when they're celebrating at the end, and R2 is effed up, and they're all like, "Oh, he'll be fine. Let's go celebrate." I'm like, no, R2 just like is like. And Brian's like, it don't matter. He's about to eat. I mean, like he's not a priority right now. It's like, yes, he is. It's just like, why are you acting like he's burnt to a crisp? Like, look, he's about to die, and they're all like, "Let's go celebrate." It's like, fuck you.
Well, they also do that after they kill almost like 12 million people. So I don't think they have the greatest moral compass in episode 4.
Priorities.
Very true. All right.
Granted, I understand like they killed Alderaan and they deserve to die, but like everybody though, I mean,
yes, they destroyed Alderaan, and I hope they burn in hell.
Oh no, Jay, you can't say hell. Remember, there's no heaven or hell in Star Wars. Apparently,
you told that to Han Solo.
And
you told that to Han Solo in episode in Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah,
I'll see you in hell.
Because Battlegrounds apparently have gods. They go, oh my god. But
Roger.
All right, Jay.
Their god's name's Roger.
Let's talk about the scene that you really want to talk about, and that is the amazing song and dance number.
That's in the special edition. Are you really bringing up the special edition?
Look, okay, so no. So here's the thing: not a lot of people have access to non-special edition content. A lot of the people who are going back to rewatch these are probably watching it on Disney Plus, and
I don't think it's it. Is it on Disney Plus?
Yes.
That's stupid.
Yeah.
Stupid. Reverting back. You have Fox.
Yeah, no, you got on Disney Plus, even the Blu-rays and stuff now, none of them are special editions anymore. It's almost impossible to find special editions anymore.
They switched the Greedo thing, though. I don't understand. They switched it back. They switched it on Disney Plus. Han shoots first.
McClunky.
Yeah. No, this
don't get me started on that. But yeah, Slice Noodles and Max Rebo in the Max Rebo band, I am not okay with.
So off. That is so awful.
It's not that like the song's bad or anything. It's like just 45 seconds CGI. Too long, and the CGI is
just terrible CGI.
The singer with the super long mouth
because it's
no
taking
blending.
It from an 80s film and adding 99 CGI, which is like Reboot.
Yeah,
you guys remember Reboot? It was like fucking Reboot.
It is exactly what it looks like.
Yeah, like I mean,
it doesn't look good. Like it does absolutely nothing. No, it doesn't do anything to progress the scene. Lucas was like, "This is how I had always envisioned it, so I'm gonna put it in because this is what it's like in my mind and on my drawing boards and in my book."
I'm the writer of Star Wars, and it's gonna be how I want it to be. I am the dictator.
Every other line rhymes.
Yes, it's gotta.
Especially when by the end of the song, you get the one slave girl who's fighting off Jabba, and she gets dropped, and the girl singer goes, "Whoa!" It's just like,
oh, it's just normal to drop people in a Sarlacc pit or a Rancor pit.
Yeah, it's like that's the Rancor pit.
Yeah,
I didn't mean to say Sarlacc pit. Listen, I'm watching SEN.
I had to catch myself earlier too.
Sarlacc pit was what's talked about on SEN. Sorry, guys. Didn't mean to cross that over.
But yeah, I know. I knew Jay wanted to talk about that scene because yes, that scene is abysmal.
It's a terrible scene.
It's terrible. It takes me out of the movie entirely.
Yeah.
But then we get Boosh, which everybody knows is Princess Leia in fucking in hiding. I'm not gonna the uncouth thing to say would be Princess Leia in drag, but we don't know what Boosh's fucking sexual orientation or exactly.
I mean, yeah.
But at the exact same point in time, this is a really cool scene, because you get to see Leia do something instead of the damsel in distress role that she's been put into, other than commanding people, from afar. She's actually or bitching at Han for the last 2 movies.
That's the best part.
But she actually gets to do something. She seems like a usable character at this point in time in the movie, instead of just like a figurehead to be looked at.
That's like she was in A New Hope, where she was actually taking charge.
Bro, when she pops out and she's like $50,000, I want $50,000 for him.
Mm-hmm.
Oh no, you don't get that. Because it was originally 25, then he said 50, then she pulls out the fucking thermal detonator, the ballsiest fucking move in all of Star Wars, bro. She pulls out the thermal detonator, activates it, and is like, 50. No, you don't want 50? 35. Boom. Cool. $35,000. That's what, unfrozen, whatever. That doesn't matter. Jabba the Hutt, sly businessman. I will give him that. I will give him
Jabba the Hutt was, oh my god.
He's a
But
smooth operator.
but I mean I like that scene, but I think the reveal's more more important, because it's cool because you think it's a bounty hunter this entire time. Like,
Who
you
are
think it's like it's like, who are you? And then it's like you get the reveal of Leia, and it's like everything that sets up, and it's like, wow.
You get the score.
Yeah.
As well.
Yeah.
You get the Leia score as soon as you see her finally. Kevin.
And then everybody gets trapped.
Yeah, Kevin, thoughts on the horrible dance number and the introduction to Bosch and Chewie?
The horrible dance number, yikes. The only thing I would say about that is when I was watching the director commentary, George Lucas had said something about that the reason he put that in there was that the puppets were limited in what he could do moving them. And I'm like, yeah, but
did you see the final product?
Yeah, exactly.
That doesn't look good.
Which was better? Okay, yeah. Let's pick the best
Which
option
was
here.
better? They made a entire Jim Henson movie with just puppets.
Exactly.
That worked just fine. You just didn't want to hire the puppeteers.
Exactly.
Tell the truth, George. Tell the truth.
It was the 90s. CGI was still new, and you're like, this would be cool if I threw some CGI in there. And I also love the moment where they show Lando, and it's like, we see it's Lando, but then he has to do that. Let me lower
the worst costume ever.
Worst
or disguise,
ever.
So, like, in a book, they explained that outfit was just straight up on the Falcon. Like, it was straight up just in the closets on the Millennium Falcon. Like, I just want that to be known. He basically
in Solo. Is it in Solo?
Yes.
It's in Solo.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right.
So basically, he just went to a Spirit of the Halloween and
put on a mask
and stuck it in the fucking closet on the Millennium Falcon.
I just love though that they were like, oh, just in case you guys don't know, it's Lando.
It's me.
You can see Billy D. Williams in the fucking costume. It's got an open face.
Other than fucking Darth Vader, he's the only black dude in the universe.
I was gonna say, not to be racist, he is the only black guy though. So
guys, the universe is not that small. We know this now.
That we've seen.
In the Star Wars
saga, women in the entire fucking series.
In the Star Wars saga, it is Billy D. Williams, John Boyega, and
Darth Vader for the first two movies. Well, for the first movie, because then you find out that it's a white dude inside the suit.
And you got Captain, was it Panaka from?
Oh yeah, and Typho, and Typho.
Yeah, like so. Yes, it kind of is. I'm not saying
Han Solo's ex-wife.
Who? Is she?
Yeah. She's.
Are you talking about
Solo? We were talking about the prequels and the original.
No, I'm not. I'm talking about the comic books. It's lore.
We're talking about the movies right now.
This is all straight up movies, bro.
I know what you're doing, but I'm saying she's still character.
We're not saying it's right. We're just saying that you don't have to do.
You know, I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying I'm happy with it. You know, representation, people of color in the universe.
I'm not talking about that, but you can literally see his face through the costume, which is
you can definitely tell
it's right away.
It's his mustache.
It's his mustache.
On the bottom, dog. Like literally, I was like, okay, who's this random person? I see mustache. It's Billy D.
But see, that's the messed up thing too, Jay. Is you bring up the whole point of we finally get to see Leia do something, not be the damsel in distress,
and then turns around and ultimately becomes the damsel in distress.
Not only the damsel in distress, we're gonna put her in the golden bikini of all things.
Yeah,
make her the symbol of the '80s.
Okay, so.
But that's what he made all his. So not out of it's not out of Jabba's kind of context.
I'm talking about George.
I know George Lucas, but it's not out of Jabba's context to do that because we've seen the slave girls and that's the outfits they wear.
Also, did you know there's no underwear in outer space according to George Lucas?
All right.
What we're saying is that Jay was right. Like we finally got to see Leia do something and not be the damsel, and then like
They turn around and turn her into the fucking.
They
And then they
make
make her like the most damselly of damsels.
I mean, she does get her moment.
Yeah, she.
Like,
See you later.
yeah, I mean, like, oh, obviously, young nerd fans were like, oh, yay, but it's
Young
like,
nerd
like,
fans?
really?
I was about to say I still want my girlfriend to wear that.
Yeah, we all nerds want their girlfriends to dress up in
I
this.
mean, it's not comfortable.
Shut
It's
up,
not
Doug.
comfortable.
It's comfortable on the
guys.
floor.
Jesus.
Doug, why are you talking about it not being comfortable like
Are
you
you
tried
saying
it on?
Are you wearing it, Doug?
I did, guys. You guys want to see it? I have it in my closet.
I was
Yes,
like,
yes.
Is it right
After
next
the
is it
show.
right next to Lando's bounty hunting outfit?
It is. It was on the Millennium Falcon, and I rocked it.
Y'all maybe get a picture of Leia in the golden bikini and Photoshop your face on it. I'll do it.
Yikes!
I don't know if you want to do that. I
And
don't know.
Pal's vinegar strokes.
Put them together. Put them together side by side. Big, I mean, you said
Which is worse? Which is worse?
Both.
both. Put them
I
together.
choose both.
It's like Wonder Powers activate.
¿Por qué no las both?
What?
¿Por qué no las both?
Yes.
Why not both?
I know both. Anyway, we got way off track. Obviously, like we said, Leia gets caught. Han, Chewie, they're all caught. And thus we get Jedi.
Comic-Con 2021, Doug. I'll wear that with you.
Let's do it.
We'll wear it main floor.
We'll move into the house and then put it on, and that'll be our welcome
Yeah.
home. That'll be our welcome home poster.
I will
postcard.
gladly decline the invitation.
You're a liar to
We're
fat mouth.
sending it right to you.
No, thank you.
You're a liar to fat mouth. It'll be an Evite too, so you'll have to open it up.
Oh God.
And then we're gonna have it set to where we know if you opened it. If you don't open it, we just send you 50 more until you open it.
They're like
Until you
Hogwarts
do.
letters.
They're like,
Hogwarts letters. We'll send it to you via snail mail, bitch.
But anyway, back on task. Men dressed up as Princess Leia. We get Jedi Knight. Luke
She's a
Skywalker.
general, sir.
She's still Princess Leia. But anyway, Luke, he force chokes, he mind tricks.
Ooh, two of them. Just,
Yeah, he just force
He
chokes.
said-
two of them.
mind trick is not anti-Jedi.
No. I'm just saying.
No,
from
Force
what we've
choke
seen-
is.
No, what
No,
I'm
it's
saying, from what we've seen in Empire to now, he has the force choke ability, which no Jedi ever uses, but he does. And he's able to do the Jedi mind trick, which at that point we had only ever seen Obi-Wan do. So how long is it between Empire and Jedi? 3 years again? It's 3 years like in
3 years between. Yes.
Okay.
It's 3 years. Yeah, it's 3 years between all of them.
It definitely shows because Luke looks raggedy as shit. But
Well, he also got into a
I
car
like the black
accident.
outfit though.
no, we got a car accident.
I like the black outfit
No, I
too.
understand that, but like it was kind of fresh. Like so, it happened right after shooting Wrapped in '77. So when they started on Empire, it was still kind of super fresh. That's why you got attacked by the Wampas in Empire, was
I know
to
that.
kind of show that. But like it had gotten time for it to set in, and he'd matured a little bit more because it's been 6 years. So like it definitely made an impact there. Like I can see where you're coming from.
Plus, we also see, so he force chokes two people, he mind tricks, and he also tries to use a blaster. Very anti-Jedi in this. But yeah, he tried.
No,
Obi-Wan says it's not very civilized.
it doesn't matter. He still used one.
He used one.
It doesn't
A
matter. He still
second-
fucking used it.
Second, he's not a Jedi.
True.
He's not a Jedi.
He's not a Jedi.
Not yet.
He is not a Jedi until he
He's not.
visits Yoda the second
yet.
time.
Right.
Yeah,
Not till the end.
You're right. But in 3 years, he's obviously been back to see
He's
Yoda.
been tricked. No, I don't think he's been back to see Yoda. There's the Yoda journals.
So then how did he train?
There's the journal that he
So
receives.
So
He
got
was
a
all right,
journal
so-
that had a force choke.
So no. There's a journal that he receives in a comic book. That's canon, where he goes through the journey that Obi-Wan went through. He learns different Force techniques.
So
That's why you see
chapter 14, Choke Me Harder, Daddy.
Yes, that's why he's in black.
Hashtag Choke Me Harder, Daddy.
Hashtag Choke Me Harder, Daddy Luke.
Dumbledore approves.
Be the real headmaster.
But yeah, and he's all dressed in black. I mean, he's doing everything that's Sithy in this movie. He is.
Oh, except we call Kylo
all
Ren a bitch
black.
for doing it though.
He is.
So the only reason I don't think he's a Sith at all, or going down that path, yes, Force choke is a little bit of a negative
he didn't
outlook.
He didn't have to do it. He just did. It wasn't. He could have talked his way through it. He could have mind tricked them just like he did with what's his name?
There is no try. There is only do or do not.
That's an absolute, according to Jay, and that is
not an absolute, because
Yes,
if you're saying that, Yoda dealt in absolutes.
So did Obi-Wan.
He did.
So then nobody's a Jedi, and
Exactly.
you need it,
Nobody's
Luke,
a Sith.
and you need it, Luke, to balance the Force. So he is,
Anakin
AKA my theory from the beginning, he's a motherfucking gray Jedi.
Gray Jedi don't exist.
If anything, he's a virus in the Jedi that ruins the Jedi Order.
How? Anakin was the virus.
No,
Anakin
the
was
Jedi
out.
were the virus that ruined the Jedi Order.
Yeah,
Okay, let's
Jedi-
be real. The Jedi ruined.
Regrew the Jedi Order, thus making the virus, and Kylo balanced that shit back out again.
Yo, okay, so I'll bring it to the Simpsons again. There's that episode. No, so there's that episode where fucking Willie's like, brothers and sisters are natural enemies, like the Scots and who else, and the Scots and these other people, and the Scots and other Scots. Damn Scots, they ruined Scotland. Damn Jedi, you ruined Jedi. Like, let's be real here. Jedi are the natural enemy of the Sith. The Sith are the natural enemy of the Jedi. Like the Jedi and the Jedi, or the Jedi and the Sith, or the Jedi and other Jedi. Damn Jedi, you ruined Jedi.
Like I said, Doug. I mean, like the facts don't lie, bro.
Stats
But
don't
what
lie. His
other-
name's Jim Green.
But here's the thing. What's the other dark side Force he used? If you're leaning towards that, besides choke, what else has he used?
Well, okay. So my question to you
He
is:
tried to assassinate Jabba. That's not Jedi.
That's absolute Jedi.
Hold on.
What did Mace Windu try to do? Tried to
Mace-
assassinate Palpatine.
No, he did not. Palpatine attacked them first.
I'm gonna show up. No. I'm gonna show up with 3 other Jedi just to kill one guy.
Jay,
They weren't trying to kill him. They were trying to capture him.
Not the
Yeah,
way
he
that
showed up.
Mace
He
said it.
showed up to
Alright.
capture.
Rewind again, real quick. Not what Mace said. We have to take care of him.
that was after they were going there to capture him and to arrest him, and he said the Senate will decide your fate. I am the Senate. And then he attacked them. At that point, game on. Jabba hadn't done shit yet. Jabba, he was just like, no, I'm not giving you Han. And he just straight up tries to kill him.
That's not
Jabba.
true. That's not true. It wasn't until after the Rancor that he tries to kill Jabba. Yes, he says
he tries to shoot Jabba,
whatever
and,
Luke's-
and then he drops into the Rancor pit. I literally am
Well,
watching right now. He goes to shoot Jabba, and the Warthog dude grabs Luke, and Luke shoots the ceiling, and then they press the Rancor button, and they fall down to the Rancor.
And then they push Jabba's fat ass over the Rancor pit.
To do it so he can
Like-
walk. He tried to assassinate Jabba before the Rancor pit happened. Him trying to assassinate Jabba got Luke in the Rancor pit. Doug spotted his head because Doug.
What was
Tom
Luke?
got to
Shout
watch.
out to the Rancor Wrangler who got saved by that baby Rancor and then watched his best friend die
He cried.
and
I-
cried.
His name's Ernie Facilius, and I agree with you, Jay. I agree with you, Jay.
Thank you.
Puppy.
Shout out to Ernie Facilius.
Yes.
Like he didn't want nothing but to get away with his Rancor homie. He didn't want
that
his
was his
Rancor homie
best
to die.
friend, man. That was his best friend.
That was
He
like
took
his
care of
big
that.
thing. It's a big dog. It just wanted
Yeah,
to
he
eat his bone.
took care of him. He fed him. He that was
That
his
thing saved
life. That was
That
his
thing saved his life
job.
when he was younger, bro.
That was
There's
his
an
job.
entire backstory between that dude and the Rancor.
I'm sure there is.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, but yeah, we get the Rancor fight. Well, I mean, he eats the like I said, the Warthog. I can't remember their damn names.
Gamorrean guard.
Yes, he eats that one. takes a nice big chomp at him too. Doesn't he like break him in like half with his mouth? Luke, hides, does the whole bone thing, and then basically baseball throws the door and killing the Rancor. Thus, we get the sad moment with the Rancor handler. I love that Doug's still trying to watch it to see if he can prove his point, but he's so wrong because I'm literally watching the Rancor fight right now.
I'm watching it too.
Exactly. Your theory's wrong, bro. Luke is a shit. So
no, all right. I can understand. I can understand your point. But did he shoot him? Or did he use any force powers? No, because if he wanted to kill him, all he would have to do is force choke him out.
Luke is not powerful enough to force choke John.
Absolutely is.
No.
In episode 6, he absolutely is. He ranks a little under his father at that point.
Then he should have been able to dominate Darth Vader.
Oh, his father's still more powerful than he is.
It's half his father. It is half his father.
Still underneath power level wise under his father.
No, it's just. But Luke is a straight up bitch Sith. Let's go there.
He's not a Sith.
Hashtag Luke is a bitch Sith. Bitch Sith.
Hashtag Luke is a gray Jedi. Don't care what you say.
Hold on. No.
Not the movie.
Here's the thing.
He's the one that balances the force.
All we've done is put what we think is good and bad into categories. There is no good, there is no bad when it comes to the force.
Fine, he's a great Jedi.
It is the force.
Yes.
No, that's just it.
Yes.
It's not about whether or not he's a gray Jedi. It's not about whether he's a Jedi. It's not about whether he's a Sith. It's about the simple fact that we're taking things in the context that we want to take them and being like, okay, this was a good thing that he did. This was a bad thing that he did. Where does he fall on this scale that we've created? The Force doesn't give a fuck about that. That's why the Force is,
the Force is bright, right? When you add a black and a white together, what do you get?
A spectrum.
You understand that the Force isn't a spectrum. It's not a thing like that.
The Force is Koreans, people.
Jesus.
Get out.
Of your own channel. Get out.
Of your own show.
No, but they show you when you get a balanced thing, you have to have 1 and 1 to make a balance.
And Luke gets rid of all the Sith, therefore he doesn't bring balance.
Actually, technically, he doesn't get rid of all the Sith.
No, Vader does.
Vader does.
Yeah, like I said.
Which proves that Anakin was the chosen one.
Exactly.
No, because then he left it uneven. Because he left 2 lights in the world. He did. He left 2 lights in the world.
2 white and 2 blacks.
No. He took out the 2 blacks. Vader took out the 2 blacks, which means you have Luke and you have Leia. And they're both light. If you want to say it, he's right in the middle. Luke is right in the middle if you want to say that he's part Sith. He's still right in the middle. The reason I say gray Jedi is because it's the easiest way to explain it. Because dark side is black, light side is white. The reason I say gray is because he's like right in the middle.
It's blue and red. Let's be real.
Blue and red.
Blue and red.
First of all, Luke's lightsaber's green. But the reason it's still unbalanced is because when Vader takes out the 2 dark side, you still have him in the middle, Luke in the middle, and Leia that's light. Leia's still force sensitive. She has the ability. Yoda says it.
But what if she didn't find out though? Do you think she would have ever come into that?
Yes, because here's what happened. She naturally knew. She had her father's side. She could understand robotics, which is something that only Skywalker seemed to be able to do. She had
everything R2 says. No, Luke does.
She does understand what R2 says.
Yeah.
Later down the series, she understands what R2 says.
Later, but not during the first 2 movies.
Okay.
So
but still, she would have still learned.
What R2 says, but
she still would have learned. She still would have learned. We don't know that yet because we don't know her true lineage.
Don't.
Did it?
True lineage is nobody, bro. True lineage is nobody.
Just wait for it.
Wait
for it. You're gonna be mad. You're gonna be mad.
I'm not gonna be mad, bro.
She is a Palpatine clone.
Says it in
she's a Palpatine clone.
Force Awakens.
She is a Palpatine clone.
No, she's not.
Oh, geez.
Anyway, bring this back around. So we kill the Rancor. We get the whole Sarlacc pit battle. R2's basically hiding R2's hiding Luke's saber. He does the whole diving board jump. We get the big battle. We see Boba Fett go down like a bitch because
one of the endings of one of the coolest characters that could have been.
Boba Fett never did anything that was cool.
He looked cool, and he had eventually a cool backstory.
Cool.
But that's what Star Wars does, all right? It gets our hopes up with these cool-ass looking characters.
I get that, but he's not cool though.
He is
Mandalorian is cool.
He took down Han Solo.
He didn't take down Han Solo. When did he take down Han Solo?
Chased Han Solo. I don't care.
Chase.
Leave Boba Fett alone.
I'm just saying.
Even though he's not a Mandalorian.
Anyway, so we get the whole big battle. Everyone's going down. Leia does, like I said, she gets her redemption. She gets her badass moment, and she gets to choke the fuck out of Jabba the Hutt, thus killing him. Luke goes on a killing spree, killing everyone that gets in his way.
Oh, wait, now I see the connection between him and Anakin.
Yeah, he slices down everyone. Jay, you look like you're biting your tongue so bad right now. Go ahead, Jay.
Oh no, I'm biting my tongue because of the shade that was thrown by somebody on the channel about something that I'm not going to go off on a tangent about. Again, you dick. No, Luke has by far probably one of the most baller lines in this entire movie. No, Luke has one of the most baller lines in the entire fucking franchise up to this point. Jabba, free us or die.
But yes, baller line. Boba Fett.
Boba Fett goes out like a bitch.
Yes, he does. But yeah, I mean,
like not a Mandalorian.
he falls into a Starlight pit and like burps. How can you make that a bit like a pimp move? Honestly, though, Jabba's death was pimp.
Jabba's death was great.
Leia takes him out pretty great. Like even to the point where he has the tail doing like this kind of thing. But yeah, I mean, let's talk about the death count of Luke during that battle. Luke kills everybody. He does, man.
Luke's like, oh, you want to die? All right, I got you. Oh, you want to die too? All right, I got you. You want to die? No, you don't. Well, guess what? You're going to.
Exactly. You're not helping your argument at all, Doug.
I'm saying he's a gray Jedi because I know people don't like the term. I just use the term because he's a combination of both. I don't think he's full Sith, and I don't think he's full Jedi.
At this point, I don't think he's full fucking Sith in this point of the film. He does. I think him going back and seeing Yoda helps. But at this point throughout the film, he's doing a lot of Sith shit. Is what I'm saying. Now, when he goes and talks to Yoda, and he goes to Endor, yeah, shit changes. He starts to be more like an actual Jedi. But this first half of this film, he's 100% Sith. He is. No. Kevin, thoughts? You're quiet through this entire thing.
I'm listening. I'm taking it all in.
I know you're listening. You got thoughts?
Yeah, no. I was actually just gonna say like during that scene on the barge, when I know Luke takes out a lot of people, but Han saves Lando.
Yeah.
And then Chewie ends up saving both of them. So again, Chewie doesn't get the
recognition,
the heroes, the accolades he deserves. And I feel like that is like a trend. I don't know why, but
it's been a trend since New Hope when he didn't.
I agree. That's what I've been saying. So I don't. Yep.
Jay, thoughts on the Bard scene?
There's a lot going on.
Yes, there is.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on in this scene. This is the most frantic I've ever seen somebody swing or hack with a lightsaber. And for something that cut off Wolfman's arm or Ponda Baba's arm so easily in episode 4, there ain't a whole lot of loss of limb going on, and he's tagging people left and right with that fucking lightsaber.
He's a bow staff at this point. Like he's just knocking people back. He's not really like slicing anybody up.
But that's not okay with me. That's a continuity error to me. Like it's one thing that I don't like about like the video games that aren't Jedi Academy, where when you hit somebody with it, fucking parts go flying.
Yeah, it doesn't. I agree with that because I mean they make it more powerful in the prequels. Like they're not only chopping arms, they're slicing through full metal doors.
Yeah,
like a blade that powerful,
like melting. Yeah,
he just sticks it through and twists, and it's just like taking the door apart.
Yeah.
And even in the new game Jedi Fallen Order, I mean, it's basically just treated like a sword. But I mean, it's a game.
Oh,
though.
you guys are right.
And
No,
he-
not about that. About the special effects. What they changed the Sarlacc pet to, like he looks like a little itty bitty worm. I don't like that.
Yeah. And the part where when Han shoots it and it does the whole like back. But yeah, so they get done with Tatooine. Luke goes to Dagobah to basically say goodbye to Yoda. Then we get the introduction to Emperor Palpatine at this point. 40 minutes later than what I said it should be. But yeah, and I mean, we get, like I said, we get the introduction to Palpatine. We already talked about that. So let's go ahead and go to Yoda. Is Yoda 900 or is he 950?
900.
900? I always think
Just turns 900.
Gotcha. Like I said, with Yoda, I mean, it's literally, I was sad to see Yoda go, but it was one of those like elongated deaths. Like, Luke.
How many times did he like fake die?
How many times? Like,
I wrote like 4 quotes. Like,
you could say so much more. You didn't have to go.
is Vader my father? Rest I need. And I thought he was gonna just die, and then your father he is. Well, damn it! Why? Let him find that out.
That Luke line, like,
and then he says, "Unfortunate you rushed to face him. Anger, fear, aggression." Like, he goes on to wax rhapsodically, but I mean. Yeah, he does warn, don't underestimate the Emperor. That's the big thing.
Yeah,
so it does set up the ending.
And he's the one character who actually dies peacefully in all of the movies, technically.
I'd say Obi-Wan dies. I know you don't think it's peacefully, but I think technically he doesn't. He doesn't get struck down by the blade. He basically does what Luke does.
Yeah.
And what Yoda does.
Sacrifices himself.
But he didn't want to go at that point. He went because he had to. Yoda goes because he wants to.
Yoda goes because of old age. But like, okay,
is it really old age? Are we sure?
Yes.
He's 100 years old, bro.
He says he's tired at the beginning of that scene.
The baby is 50 years old and looks nowhere near as old as.
Okay, give it another 850 years.
Plus the baby hasn't done shit yet.
How long is a year in that where he's at?
It's like he's like a dog. It seems like.
First of all, the baby gave us one of the most comical moments of episode 4. Don't touch that.
No, I'm not bashing Baby Yoda. I'm saying Baby Yoda hasn't done shit compared to what Yoda did.
Master Yoda, yeah, I know. I'm just busting your balls.
Talk about the life you live. Now, when Baby Yoda becomes a Mandalorian, that's gonna be great. But that's for another conversation. Jay, thoughts on Yoda's passing?
It took forever.
I'm at minute 3 right now of it.
See? I'm talking about, like, it did not need to be drawn out that long. Like, I get it, us of this new generation, we're used to a different version of pacing for movies. We usually have something going at a faster clip. But, like, it shouldn't take 5 minutes for this death scene to go out so that he... this basically all-knowing being, and he's gonna drop some information. He's gonna drop some knowledge on it before he goes, but it still just takes him forever to get anything out. You're just like, bro, come on.
Like even Luke's sitting there going, for fuck's sake, dude. Like, just say what you gotta say. It's like, even Luke's like, bro, like, you're my master, but god damn, man.
Come on, man. I got a plane to catch.
Exactly. Like, I gotta get back. there's stuff to do right now.
I gotta go save a planet.
Yes, I gotta go stop an empire. But yeah, so Vader Yoda passes. We then get to where's the rebel base at, or are they just on a ship when they're going over the plan?
They're just on a ship.
They're just on a ship. We get to see Admiral Akbar for the first time. We get to see not Mothra, that's Godzilla.
Mothma.
Mothma. For some reason, Mothra was the only thing going through my brain.
Many Bothans died to bring us this info.
Yes.
Sorry.
Yeah, no, you're fine. And then once again, we see the plan how to destroy the new Death Star, and basically everything's kind of lining up for what the rest of the film is. Lando has been promoted. Hans just kind of has weird delivery through this whole part. Is it just like seriously though? Like guys, like it just me as a Harrison Ford like just character just act like he just doesn't give a flying fuck.
Yeah, it's almost like he missed a movie.
Didn't give a flying fuck. He was supposed to die in the last one.
He didn't want to come back for this movie.
Yeah,
nope.
That's why he doesn't give a flying fuck in The Force Awakens.
Nope.
Yeah, I feel like he did a better performance than that than in Return of the Jedi, to be honest.
How many fucking times is he gonna say Luke to him?
Exactly. He says Luke a lot, bro.
He says Luke like 15 times.
It's ridiculous.
Luke, for joining the conversation 5 minutes later.
And then he's like,
you already
Luke.
moved on, and you're still on this scene.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how long that scene takes.
We're like 5-10 minutes past this. But yeah,
his last line is Sky. Oh God.
Oh yeah, that's right.
But yeah, so I mean, we get the whole plans. I mean, honestly, like you said, it's like Harrison's just there to just bullshit and have fun. I mean, we get the. I mean, it's just like even that whole conversation. Like he's not acting like Han. He's kind of acting like Han and Solo.
Yeah, kind of. He gives that
Solo Han, not Han Solo.
You guys did miss a scene. It's before he leaves Dagobah. Him and Obi-Wan have that conversation about him lying when he's a Force Ghost.
Yeah, that's a good
I know
call.
that you probably don't want to go back, but I was just letting you know.
No, it's just we kind of just talked about it in Empire, where it's like we just really feel like Alex Guinness just doesn't want to be there.
Yeah, Alec Guinness didn't want to play.
Yeah, it's just like, I mean, it is what it is. Kind of.
Yeah,
Did he lie though? Do you think he lied, Doug?
Yes, he lied. He
From
lied.
a certain point of view,
No.
many of the truths we cling to depend on our point of view.
That would be a no. Did he? Did he?
I'm
or
just playing
did he
devil's
not
advocate, bro.
kill his father? He killed him. Killed him. Left him there to die.
A dark Jedi named Darth Vader killed your father.
Technically, Anakin was not dead. So
Just
left
flame.
him there to die.
Like you said,
He was
just like
on
you said,
fire.
just
Just
flammable.
on fire. ready for the lava to take over.
Hey, technically, I mean, he might say he killed Darth Maul, but he didn't kill Darth Maul. Darth Maul.
Yes, he did.
Survived.
No.
No. I'm saying Episode 1, Obi-Wan. He's gonna take credit for killing Darth Maul. Darth Maul didn't die, and he cut him in half.
Well, he thought he did.
On and kept going.
We
There's
learned later
no
that he did.
way that Anakin could have straight up survived that. If Darth Maul survived getting cut in half, Anakin could have survived getting burnt and left on the side of Mustafar. That's all I'm saying. But yeah, so we start to kind of see like I said, the beginnings of the third act. We get some more conversations with the Emperor and Vader. We get Han and group trying to break into the Endor because they're not on the Falcon, they're on the
Tidarium.
Yes, they're on another ship
Because Lando's driving the Falcon.
and like, clearly Vader's like,
Not
yeah,
one scratch.
I know it's you guys. It's like,
I'm gonna let you go because I know it's you.
yeah, it's like I know it's them, so we'll just let them go because I'm gonna go get them myself, kind of thing. Or anyway,
This is how lazy the Harrison Ford line was. They're not going for it, and then he says, "All right, go ahead." Okay, I told you it was gonna work. I was just like,
that is a Han line.
Man,
That's a Han line.
it's as close as it gets, though.
Way that fly casual.
Yeah, it's as close as we get to a Han line, though. That's the sad part.
Yeah, I mean, well, except for when he chastises.
Oh yeah.
On Endor.
Yeah, that shit's fine.
But yeah, I mean, we get more of that kind of like that Luke Vader, like Father, can you hear me?
Pasha.
Yeah. Yeah. So we land on Endor. Cool speeder action. I actually enjoy the speeder action. What about
The
you?
speeder bikes are pretty cool. I do enjoy that. I enjoy the whole chase scene. I think it's really cool.
Seeing a stormtrooper bounce off a tree like a toy. Fun. I'm glad they didn't add like a doink sound to it because George Lucas totally would have done that.
Give it another 15 years, another version of the special editions will come out, and right on his deathbed,
Can't do it. Can't do it.
To it.
You
Can't do it
anymore.
Can't do it.
No, they're gonna add like
he will pay $1.5 billion to Disney for them to
right.
add that.
Probably got like $8 billion left.
Change the sound to like a squeaky
$4.4 billion for Disney, Doug. That man's got nothing but money working for him right now.
Then go start a new production film and make a different type of movie. Can
we
we get I don't know, something like American Graffiti?
Stop living in the past.
Don't tell me stop living in the past. I want him to start living in the past.
Okay, us all talking about Star Wars movies from the past. Stop living in the past.
All right.
Stop living beyond 1983, Doug.
Yeah.
God, what are you talking about? That was before 1983.
That was back in.
We're talking about 1983. Stop living before that.
He did say before.
Oh, okay. All right, I get what you're saying now.
Dave, what are your thoughts on
Late, dang it.
I like the speeder battle. There is the technicals behind the like actual speeder battle is like fantastic. They had to walk through with the rig going at recording at a quarter speed, stopping, using a fucking manual shutter, and then playing it back at normal time. And if they'd fucked up on their walk, they had to start the entire thing over. But it becomes one of the best effects that I've seen in a movie in a long time. Like, granted, the speeders going down don't look the greatest. You can definitely tell that like green screen was involved, but the grueling technical aspect of them actually capturing everything that's going on around them is fantastic. And yeah, we are about to get to Space Vietnam. It's awesome.
And once again, another new design for the stormtroopers.
Yeah, Scout
troopers. Yeah. Like this is the one scene that is like, if I was ever gonna watch a 3D version of a film, it would be this scene alone, just from when they're going back through the trees and stuff like that. It's like I said, real cool visuals. I really like the speeder scene in general. And then of course we get the introduction to one of my favorite characters, even though a lot of people hate these, but Wicket, because Wicket's a pimp. Chicken. I love Wicket.
Wicket, jungle is massive. Wicket, jungle is massive.
Wicket knows how to get Princess Leia.
Wicket could have probably thrown the pipe inside.
Be a 9-year-old midget.
Whoa.
Hey,
leave Warwick Davis alone. He was a pimp.
I was gonna say Warwick Davis was a pimp.
9-year-old midget.
Don't you dare badmouth Willow.
No, let's say little people or dwarvism.
Hold on. This is legitimate. No, this is legitimately where this behind the scenes look is exactly where George Lucas got the "Are you an angel?" for Anakin in the original in the sequel trilogy. Like, let's be real, because Warwick Davis was there spitting Dana Carey Fisher, and boom, I could write a movie about this, and then you turned
just call it Star Wars.
Yeah.
I mean, like at the time, obviously, like
Phantom Menace floating was a sexual harassment lawsuit from Warwick Davis's parents.
I mean, like, and Kevin said this. I mean, like most of the characters here, they're built for toys. The Ewoks were built for children, but I love the Ewoks. I do. On
the surface.
What?
On the surface,
yeah,
Ewoks were purely 100% built for toy sales.
Yes.
Looking deeper into what the Ewoks are, not for children whatsoever.
Mm-hmm.
Whatsoever.
I agree.
I totally agree with that.
Lucas has already said at 100% that he based the war tactics of the Ewoks off of the Viet Cong army, the NVA, the North Vietnamese army.
Guerrilla warfare, right?
What are you trying to show us?
Not only that, but native tribes in in
Hey, Leia, touch my stick.
You're gonna get us
in South Asia, like cannibalistic tribes. He based it off of. Yeah, I mean, definitely some deeper stuff there.
On the surface, 100% for kids.
I mean,
peel that first layer back. These are murder bears.
Like, let's put it this way: they're basically like Mogwai. You have Gizmo, who's adorable, and then it's like, pull back the layer. They're fucking gremlins. They'll kill you.
Mm-hmm.
That's what the Ewoks effectively are. And like, albeit, like, I love gremlins. I have a Gizmo guy right over here. You just can't see him on camera. I got big old Gizmo right there. But yeah, these Ewoks.
I got a big old Gizmo. Name my sex tape.
Right there, bro. There's Gizmo. Hanging out.
That is a terrifying looking Gizmo. Is that from like 1985?
That's Gizmo. What are you talking about? Don't badmouth Gizmo.
What's wrong with him? Why is he so dingy?
Because Gizmo's always dingy. Shut up.
Gizmo is not always dingy.
Shut up.
I will show you gremlins right now, son. Gizmo has never been
Bro,
dingy.
how many times have you been like, I'm going to show you this right now, and then you've been wrong? This entire episode. This entire episode. This is like the fourth time you said, I'll show you this right now. What are you going to do? Take your ball and go home?
Like, how many times do you judge my debates? And how many times am I right? You want to keep going against this because you're going to lose.
Bitch, say what? Bitch, say what? Clean.
Comb.
Clean.
Combed. That Gizmo got a brush.
Don't pull up
Clean.
Etsy. Don't pull up Etsy.
That is from the movie. Clean.
That Gizmo got a brush. This one don't got a brush. Anyway.
He's too poor for a brush. Look, boom. Gizmo again. We're on Star Wars, but Gizmo again and he clean.
He looked like Salacious B. Crumb.
We all love Gizmo. Why you gotta be talking shit about mine? Dick.
Looks like
Anyway.
he's on the ground. So bad for him.
He's not on the ground. He's on the table. He's hanging out with Yoda and Baby Groot. You leave him alone. And then soon Baby Yoda, whenever that Baby Yoda is available.
March.
May.
They pushed it back again?
May now. It's May.
It was March.
It's May. Yeah, we were getting that Baby Yoda until next Christmas. Let's be honest.
Because they went on sale. They went on sale and like everybody sold out, and they're like not getting them. That's crazy.
I took it 2 days ago, and it was like May 11th. It's probably worse now. But anyway, back to Star Wars. Yeah, so we were back on Endor. Basically, the rest of the crew gets captured by the rest of the Ewoks. But then the Ewoks all spaz the fuck out when they see 3PO. Finally, 3PO has meaning in his life, besides being R2-D2's bitch. He basically,
I mean, he's not lying.
He's a golden god, aka Almost Famous took it from this movie. And we get the I mean, Olaf just did it in Frozen 2. We get I'm going to tell you the story all about how these people got on Endor's moon. And with sound effects galore, which, we didn't know 3PO had that ability to do sound.
Yeah, that was pretty sweet.
Like, where does that come on? You could have used that shit for tactical purposes so many times throughout these films. Where did you get this audio? You know, and then
make some lightsaber sounds and stuff.
Exactly. Vader's like breathing.
The breathing, yeah.
You could have used that even for the proof that 3PO is fucking worthless. Like, you could have used that shit to help them so many times, especially on Cloud City when they were being chased. You don't think he could have just been off in the corner going, "Leave them alone"? Then he just gotten the stormtrooper back up. No, because 3PO's a bitch. But anyway, tell
me more how you hate 3PO.
I can't stand 3PO. I really can't. If he dies in Rise, I'll be happy. If he doesn't, okay.
Don't you put that curse on him.
What curse? He's a goldenrod douchebag.
He is not. He has a red arm. Respect the red arm.
And it's over like,
I
Yeah.
hope all that's left is the red arm.
oh, I'm sorry. I'm C-3PO. Maybe you couldn't recognize me because of my red arm.
I'm C-3PO. Go fuck yourself. But anyway,
I would love if Anthony Daniels did that. Go fuck
I feel
yourself.
sorry for him because I don't think the most uncomfortable motherfucking costume ever.
It is.
I don't want to have to bend my knees ever. Heaven forbid I have to take a shit. So wearing this costume.
I do it standing up. Fuck it.
I mean, R2's wasn't any
I'm
more
gonna shit
comfortable.
into
No, but
R2.
you can just take off the top part, rip the midget out, and let him go do his thing. You're not going to get that C-3PO outfit off of him fast enough before he shits himself. It's just not happening unless he's got a butt flap.
Butt flap. Hashtag C3PO butt flap.
It's like a cement truck's fucking lift. It just like it tucks up under. Looks like just one solid log just slides down. Okay, all acts gotta get cut. Jesus
That
Christ.
got weird.
Oh no, this is actually because it's still relevant to the movie. But we might cut the Gizmo stuff. But anyway, he tells the whole story. Luke makes him make him prove that he's a god. Leia's all prettied up by the Ewoks. R2 and Wicket become best buds. After R2 basically scorches one of them in the ass with like his electrical for like just keeps scorching him to them dumb. Anyway, then we get the big final reveal of, hey, you remember when we made out? I'm your brother. Kind of that whole thing. Just awkward. And then Leia goes, I felt that. Then why did you do it? Like you kissed like my brother, apparently.
That was gonna be my pimp at the end thing.
What, the
Was
guy-
him saying him saying like I always had that feeling or whatever. Like you did. That's a little weird.
Thoughts on the incest reveal?
Dude, you made out with your sister.
And I did find that picture, and I did put it in the
Yes.
Sweet.
Yes.
Yes.
Fuck yes.
And I love that Leia's response to it is "Run away, Luke. Don't go to Vader." And I love it's overacting. Where did Doug go?
He'd be right back.
Okay. But yeah, we like I say, it's very soap opera-y, this whole scene. I mean, it's necessary, I guess, but then even adding on to the soap opera part, Han shows up at the end, and he does the whole like, "You love him, and not me," kind of thing. It's like once again, George Lucas's writing style just not really up to par with the rest of it, because it's just like in a soap opera thing. Luke walks off in the darkness, Han walks in, confusion befuddles him, thinking that Luke and Leia are in love. Leia does the turn back thing, just like a soap opera. It's straight out of like Days of Our Lives or Young and the Restless or name any General Hospital, name any soap opera, and that's what this whole scene is. But bottom line is, you made out with your sister, man.
Bro, when she's like, it's not like that. He's my brother, and then she kisses him. Like, there's a split second of like, word to your mother, brotherfucker, like flashing in his face. Like, and then he's like, I don't know if I should continue with this, but then he's like, okay, she's into that. There's some kink. I can't wait to fight it and create.
It's almost like Scott Pilgrim with Knives Out. She's like, my lips kiss the lips that kiss you, kind of thing. But that's not, like, it's just like, we've been talking about this ever since 4, just how this whole, like, they clearly didn't have the intent to make them brother and sister. And then, like, by the time they did that, we're like, oh shit, we got to write a scene that kind of lets them explain themselves. And it's not done well. It's done very soap opera-y, and we're supposed to just, like, go along with it. And it's just like, no. No. Even Doug shakes his head, no. It don't work. And then then Luke meets up with Vader, and we get that whole conversation.
You're
Just
not gonna
like,
kill me, father.
yes, you're not gonna kill me, father, because there's still good in you. I can change you. It's like you just knew you just found out legitimately that he's 100% your dad. He's been trying to kill you for the last 2 movies. Bitch, he'll kill you in a heartbeat if he wants to.
For the last 6 fucking years.
Yes, technically, if we go by the span of the film, 6 years, he's been trying to kill you / turn you evil. And you're like, you're not going to kill me, father. It's like, you've been foiling his plans for 6 years. If he doesn't want to kill you, he's definitely going to strangle you for a little bit. He's got a Homer Simpson.
Foiling his plans? The fuck is he? Old man Jenkins trying to fucking get everybody out of a fucking theme park?
He's like in his 40s, so yeah.
Been foiling his plans. Old man Jenkins is fucking theme park like he's Scooby-Doo.
That's totally
Scooby-Doo. I would have gotten away with it too if it wasn't for you meddling kid.
Palpatine is pretty much an old man in a mask at that point.
Oh yeah. Okay, so we're about to get to a very big point in this movie that kind of makes one of my fucking central arguments for my The Last Jedi thesis.
Go ahead.
Oh no, because it's at the end of the movie. We still have a little bit. We still have a little bit to get to before we get to this, and then I will diverge on my train on my tangent.
In all honesty, it's a lot, and even this scene's just like Leia and Luke. It's a lot of talking to your back to somebody, very soap opera-y kind of thing. It's just a lot of turning your back, facing them, turning your back, facing them, kind of deal. It's just the whole structure of these 2 scenes are just not very well done. And it's just kind of a pissing contest between Luke and Vader of I'm gonna take you to the mess. No, you won't. Yes, I am. No, you're not. Yeah, I kinda am. But you're not. It's just and then he fucking does, and he's like, oh. It's like that's what this it's like I love Jedi, but this stretch, like this 10 minutes of stretch is yikes. Doug, thoughts?
It's I don't know how to explain it. It's definitely the most George Lucas dialogue in this film. That makes sense.
No, I think all of us have said enough about George Lucas that know exactly what you mean by that.
It's a constant, it's the tone of the conversation. It's monotone a lot. It's the delivery. It's everything that everybody has complained about the prequels about. When you're emulating a film, you don't make the dialogue worse. And I think Luke had some really good conversations in 5. Like, why is his dialogue any worse than 5? I don't know.
Is it because he's a Jedi Knight now that he has to like fully consume himself with the Force and have no emotional at all? Because but
that changes in.
I agree, but it's like that's the only excuse I can think of. Because even Obi-Wan, for the most part, outside of Anakin Turn, he pretty much stays at this. But it's just Ewan McGregor's got so much more charisma than a young Mark Hamill at this point.
Well, so does Alec Guinness. I mean, if we're being honest, in episode 4, he had a lot of charisma, but then we get issues with his conversation.
So, okay, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
No,
you're good.
I think it has to come down. I think it comes down to the fact that George is very hit or miss when it comes to his dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
And George had absolutely nothing to do with the screenplay for episode 5.
Mm-hmm.
He had something to do, because it was Lawrence Kasdan and
Lee or Lay,
Michael, something like that.
Leighton.
Leighton. They wrote that. Lucas has touch-ups and shit. He has a writer's credit on Return of the Jedi. And I think, you can go as much as, you can go live long and prosper with it all you want. Every other movie seems to be really good. for what people have to say. Everybody's like, okay, so episode 4 is good, episode 5 is great, episode 6 not so much, episode 1 not so much, episode 2 definitely not so much, episode 3 kind of redeems it, so on and so forth. But I think every time that you allow George Lucas to contribute, especially when he's not directing, it kind of hurts a little bit more. Like, I know he was 1, 2, and 3, Phantom Menace, Attack of the Clones, and Revenge of the Sith, and he kind of found a groove again. But when he has help from other writers, he kind of doesn't produce really good scripts.
Kevin,
when he doesn't have help from other people.
Well, I mean, yeah, when he had, the thing is, what's the in when it comes to screenplay, you have George Lucas, Lawrence Kasdan, and Michael Arndt on this film, but George is like number one that they put forward. Whereas in Empire Strike Back, you have Lee Brackett and Lauren Kasdan, who wrote the screenplay with George Lucas writing the film's story, the overarching story, which is overarching story he's good at. I will give him that. He's the master of an overarching story.
The dialogue.
But you shouldn't be handling the dialogue.
No. I will agree with you.
George, what do you want in this scene? Like, what do you want them to talk about? What do you want to do? I want something like this. Okay, cool.
The broad stroke.
I'll write the dialogue.
I want them to sound like me. I'm very monotone at times when I talk. I don't ever get angry. If you've ever watched interviews with me, I continually talk like this.
I wrote THX 1138.
I wrote American Graffiti, and it was great.
My dog was named
Kevin, what are your thoughts on everything we just kind of went over? The conversation between Luke Leia, the conversation between Luke Vader.
All of this, it seems like it's kind of hidden to me in between all these hot action scenes, and it's a lot of that dull dialogue. He will come to you, go to the sanctuary moon and wait, Vader, leave us, like all that stuff is just boring to me. I mean, it's stuff that I feel like we've seen, and until we get to the point to where we actually see Palpatine's power, I thought it just felt like filler, honestly.
Mm-hmm. And then, of course, while Vader and Luke are traveling back up to the Emperor, we get the starts of, what Jay said, the Vietnam War on Endor. We get Han, Leia, the Ewoks all breaking into the tractor beam base. Is that what that is? It's based. They're not the shield generator.
Shield generator.
Yeah. Like I said, they're breaking into that, and they're basically just doing antics, like Han doing the tap the shoulder on the other side and run.
Second ballsiest move in all of Star Wars, bro. Second ballsiest move in all of Star Wars, other than spinning's a good trick. Like, literally, he Naruto sprinted past him and tapped him on the shoulder and then fucking kept going. All right, let's be real here. Han Solo's a fucking gangster like that.
Yeah, I mean, we also get, funny antics with the Ewoks on the speeder, barely being able to stay on, stuff like that. So, I mean,
they take out an AT-AT with rocks.
Not yet.
I know, but I'm just saying, like, this, it's crazy. This entire scene. An AT-AT.
No, it's not an AT-AT.
No,
it's an AT-AT. Oh, it's an
AT-ST. Because the AT-AT's on Hoth.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. AT-AT's for...
Yeah, this the chicken leg one that was just in the new episode.
Well, they were on Hoth too, or at least they were added in the special edition because you can see them in the background on Hoth.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we get Luke, Leia, and the Ewoks basically doing those antics, kind of taking over the shield generator base. But then we finally get the back on the Death Star. We get the first interaction between Luke and Palpatine and Vader, where basically Palpatine is trying to bait Luke. the whole time. Strike me down. You know, all this kind of thing. Basically, just trying to get him to just attack him. You know, he lets him off his handcuffs. He sends the Imperial Guards away. Once again, not utilizing those awesome red-colored guards that I feel like are completely wasted in the film. But yes, we finally just get to see how devious the Emperor really is. And then we find out that the whole shield generator was a plan. You know, and I love that's a great delivery from Ian too, where he's just like, I hope they won't survive, kind of thing. Yeah, that whole
got plenty of gods ready.
Yeah, just like you thought you're so clever, you're not. I got this.
You're the fully operational Death Star.
But yeah, I mean, it's literally just you know, basically Palpatine talking to Luke, Luke just trying to be still incredibly confident, and Vader just doing the whole time. But I mean, it's still great because I mean, we get Palpatine just being Palpatine, which we haven't gotten at this point, but we're seeing that he's really good at like kind of just working the mind, the whole thing. Doug, what was your thoughts on Palpatine's first conversation with Luke before we get to the initial fight?
It shows you how kind of manipulative the Emperor is. It shows you how vulnerable Luke is at that point.
Because he's so confident. He thinks he has everything under control.
Yeah. He's overly confident. He goes in it really overly confident, which part of it pays off later down the line, but at the same time, it's like you can see the Emperor's plan, like his clock in his head is just ticking certain ways, and you can see it, and you can see how easy he's going to manipulate him almost.
Exactly, and when Palpatine basically says, "Oh, it'll be quite operational," you're seeing Luke panic, like his face is literally going, like, "Oh shit." I don't have, like, crap, I can't tell them. I can't warn them. Like, you're seeing someone from incredible confidence immediately crumble at that moment with Palpatine. Jay, your thoughts?
Palpatine's a bitch.
Palpatine's a bitch.
Like, okay, so he kind of pseudo got into Luke's head when Luke was already into his own head about shit. But yeah, I'll get more into this here in a minute when we get to the inevitabilities of what's about to happen. But this is the dark side Luke that you see. This is Luke giving into his dark side when he force pulls the lightsaber, ignites it, and goes to strike the Emperor down. That's dark side Luke all day, 100%. Nothing was gonna stop him. Vader's lightsaber fucking clashing, that green and the red clashing, was the only thing that stopped it from actually happening. Then we get into the fight between Vader and Luke. There's one thing that happens in this scene, like they're standing. It's kind of like the fight that happens in Empire, but reversed. You know, Luke has the upper hand now. Luke is on the attack for a majority of. Huh?
Was that a pun?
What do you mean? Oh, upper hand? No, I didn't catch
Nice,
that. But good one. I appreciate that.
Hashtag Luke has the upper hand.
When Luke kicks Vader and he does the end over end backflip, Ben Burt does one of the smartest fucking moves ever. You can see Vader's fucking lightsaber bounce off the steps, and if you listen closely to that scene, there's a little where like it actually makes the fucking melting noise. So props to the fucking sound department there, because when he does that, it just barely taps, but like you hear it and you're like, good on you guys. Fuck yeah, bro.
Plus, Luke also has high ground at that point.
Ha.
Anyways, no. So he kind of sees what he's doing in this moment, and then Vader pleads with him. Vader's like, join me. If you won't join me, maybe your sister will. And that's when he's like, okay, fuck it. You know what? I came back from it. I'm going full. And he fucking just starts, he fucking cuts off Vader's hand and shit. You're like, okay, cool. This is that moment. This is a moment that I was talking about in Empire, in our Empire video, that I wanted to bring up, because he cuts off his robotic hand. And it's the same hand that he has that's robotic. So, you know, it goes back to the Force tree from Empire, where he remembers seeing his own face behind Vader's mask. Now knowing that it's his father, it creates this deeper trip for him. And that's what causes him to fucking toss the lightsaber away. He's like, I'm not going to become the thing that my father was, and I'm on the path to doing that. So if I don't toss this laser sword away, I have nothing better than to become my father. I might as well basically give up at that point.
And then we get the great, then you will die. Kind of thing. Kevin, thoughts?
Like I brought up at the beginning, that we didn't know Palpatine's power. Just him, when you first see him strip the cuffs off of Luke, with just the Force, that's when you kind of realize, oh shit, like he's the real deal. But where we've had like the brute strength of Vader, Palpatine brings the mental mind games to the equation. He plays the dad card, he plays the sister card, he plays the power card, and he even plays, the sacrificial card, saying, strike me down and you'll become more powerful. That line. So, I mean, it just, he knows what he's doing, and that to me is scarier than anybody as far as like strength or power or robotic or anything like that. Mind games and somebody who's psychologically stronger than you is always a bigger threat.
Yeah, and then of course, while all this is happening, we're seeing basically the Rebel Alliance fall apart in a sense. We get the one iconic Imperial member going, "You rebel scum." Like how that guy must have been like, "I'm the guy who says you rebel scum" to Han Solo in the Return of the Jedi movie. And then of course we get Akbar. It's a trap, which is never.
It's a trap.
Which is never gonna die. That means never gonna die.
Are you sure about that?
Tell me you haven't had to go to the bathroom and you haven't said, "It's a crap."
No, I have almost charted. So, like, when I was younger, and by younger I mean last week, legitimately. No,
I'm sorry, Sean.
Dave's about to take you to a whole weird area.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's the weird area. Not showing up to Comic-Con 2021 dressed as Dude Layers. All right, bro.
Yeah, we are.
I'm gonna remember where you draw your lines. I'm gonna remember where you draw your lines, sir.
Dressed as Princess Leia while sharding. There's the line I draw.
Just sharding on the floor.
I don't remember having corn.
You're just walking. It's like,
make sure you have a butt flap.
You gotta get that seat.
It's just the robe flowing in the wind. but yeah, I mean, we get, like I said, everyone's pretty much captured. The rebel ships up top, they're being basically surrounded by TIE fighters, Star Destroyers, everything like that. Han, Leia, Luke, Han, Leia, they're all captured, and then we get Jay's favorite Vietnam killers, the Ewoks. Just start jumping and attacking from everywhere. And just start killing everything.
Don't they pull the Home Alone thing though with the Home Alone 2?
Dead eyes. Look at the dead eyes. Stare into them and face your God, because they are going to eat you.
What are you talking about?
When they're facing the ATSTs, don't they use like a big wooden log just swinging down? Right, yeah. They pull the Home Alone skit,
and they also pull rope between two trees and clothesline people. They gotta do stuff. I also love how their bow and arrows are able to go through the stormtrooper's armor. Because
And rocks are just able to go through windows.
I mean, stormtrooper
There
armor
were no
is
windows.
worthless.
Those are if you have an ATST and you
Viewports.
make your windows the weak point, you deserve to die, and your empire deserves to go down.
Do have eyebrows that block the windows, so they do have little wind flaps that you can to show that they're angry. But
Do they get really curious at times and say, "Do you smell what the rock's cooking?"
yes, what I think
smell
they want to
the
do is when you get the flying Ewoks who drop the rocks and they drop a bunch of rocks on the ATST and it staggers like it got hit in the head. It's just like, you're a robot.
You have a see. That's the problem, though. That's the problem. You're
Concussion
just a
protocol.
robot. You're just a
But,
robot.
but they're not. Those ones aren't sentient. Those ones are being pretty much powered.
I know.
And it still staggers around like it's a real person. But yeah, I mean, you get to watch all these little furry, lovable murderers. Wicket takes up fucking balls to the face because he whips it right into his face. But yeah, I mean, Leia gets shot at one point, which then
Han loses his mind.
What's that?
Han loses his mind.
Yeah, not really. I mean, he basically just like he's all like just worried about her, and then she does the whole like. And then shoots the stormtrooper. And then of course
badass.
Of course, and what is 3PO doing this whole time? Running away the whole time with R2.
Telling people how many friggin'
that he's the inflatable wailing arm man.
R2 is just like, I don't care what side wins because I'm Darth 2D2. So I'm just gonna.
There are dark in the legend lore. There are dark versions of R2D2 and C3PO,
which is why Darth 2D2 is the thing. Jay, thoughts on your Vietnam War of the Ewoks?
They eating people.
I mean, there's that part at the end where they're using the helmets as like drums.
I'm sure every person there is like, "Oh, this beef is delicious," and
yeah.
the Ewoks are like, "Do you mean stormtroopers?"
I mean, just think about this though. After that war, think of how much food they have left over. They are eating for a long time,
and no one has been back to Endor since.
The Force
also,
Man.
there's Ewoks that are like 6 feet tall. Just like, what the hell? We eat well.
We eat hearty. They've learned common at that point.
By eating them, they become smarter.
Eating stormtroopers makes them smarter.
Eating clones.
But it makes them terrible shots now.
Yeah.
Yes, now they
Accuracy.
Can't their bow and arrows just go off the ear. They can't shoot, right? Kevin, thoughts on the Ewok battle?
Yeah, just like I think it was just a good way to tie it up. Utilizing the characters that they introduced, I think for children, but also for like we talked about for the warfare, and that fits with every one we've done so far. We talked about like the dogfights and the trench warfare, and now guerrilla warfare. So I see a theme. So yeah, it fits. It's good.
Yeah, we do get that one sad moment when one of the Ewoks dies. And you're supposed to just be like, well, come on, you killed like how many stormtroopers?
One had to
die. But yeah, and then the other cool thing too is while we do go to the top to the space battle, we're seeing the Death Star actually being used as a weapon. I mean, it's taking out the big ships. I mean, it's not even focusing on planes. It's not trying to. It's out there actually being used as a legitimate weapon there to take everybody out in a sense. I mean, we haven't got to see that in terms of the movies yet, at least so far. And then back on Endor, R2 gets damaged because he sticks his socket in an infected socket. Always, don't be a fool, wrap your tool kind of situation, which knocks R2 out of the game. But eventually, obviously, they take over the base. Chewie gets into one of the ATSTs. Right? Doesn't he? He gets in an ATST, doesn't he? Chewie?
I believe so. Yeah.
Because that's the one that walks up on Han and they think they're screwed, and then Chewie pops out like, what's up? But yeah, we get that, and then we also get probably my second favorite blooper of the Star Wars franchise. Number one being the Stormtrooper hitting his head in A New Hope. The second one is the Han run, and then he jumps over the log and you see the blast window behind him. I love Han's overacting because he jumps and then he does the quick whip back, and just to watch it blow. But yeah, we get all that, and then obviously that allows the shield to go down. Lando goes and does his thing inside the inside the Death Star, and then we finally go back to Luke and Palpatine, where Palpatine basically just, like I said, goes all spirit fingers on Luke.
If you will not join us, you must die.
And then once again, we get the overacting of Luke, where he hasn't acted at all very throughout this whole movie, but we get the overacting at this point with the "Father, please" screech that, like, and I think we like Jay and Kevin and I, we all made a reference that there's at least one point in every one of these movies where Luke screeches horribly, and it's very bad acting. We love Mark Hamill, but goddamn, he's a horrible screamer.
Unless you're listening to as Joker.
Great laugh.
I was just about to say.
Great laugher.
Yeah.
Great laugher.
Great laugher.
Perfect laugh.
I mean, we all love him when he goes, Holly. Like, he's always my Joker.
Holly, you can't kill the bats.
The Batman.
He's mine. Smacks her.
But one thing I did like is when Vader finally decides that he's gonna kill Palpatine, save Luke, and he picks up Palpatine, and Palpatine's like doing the lightning up in the air. I like that we see the skeleton of Vader.
Yeah,
that's cool. That's awesome.
The skull behind the mask looked a little clownish to me, and when I watched it yesterday, but I thought that effect worked really well to show that there was a human under all of that.
I agree.
Yeah,
I'm trying to remember. They showed the whole skeleton.
Yes. Yeah.
There's a brief flash where he's holding him up like this, and the lightning travels through him, and you can see all of the skeletal structure. Then he throws him down, and then it's just the face.
Okay, because I was about to say you shouldn't be able to see everything.
True. True. You should not be able to see both arms.
Well, going off to what the story is, he has a mechanical hand, but like you shouldn't be able to see the hand if he's
arm though. Like he got cut from here.
pretty high.
He got that. Well, no, it's
that's later story. Like I'm talking about for this film.
Well, yeah.
This film and the next one, we only know that he has lost his hand, so it's like it shouldn't show.
It's from the waist up.
No.
Yeah, it's not full body. I also did love too when he was electrifying Luke. You saw the electrical in his teeth.
Yeah,
like that kind of thing. Like that's just like I said, cool little visuals. You add stuff like that just to make it a little bit better. But yeah, he throws Palpatine down through the. Okay, I just saw your cartoonish thing, Jay. I just saw that. Where's right here?
Yeah.
And then that's the thing too is like he throws Palpatine down. And you get this like huge explosion inside the Death Star, which you would think would have an effect on Vader, but it doesn't look like it does.
Into a Dimian worship, according to Knights of the Old Republic, according to Jelly Bindo.
What's that?
Talking about that. What?
But yeah, so like I said, we get at that point we get father and son reunited.
And that feels so good.
I need to all night. No, okay. So this is where I wanted to bring in what I had to say. This is the parallel. No, Snoke. Wedge shout out to Wedge making it from what was it, Red 3 to Gold 2 to Red Leader. Like one of the only people. Yeah, one of the only people to A, get promoted, and B, survive all three of them that wasn't a main fucking character.
Who has no
What
like,
about Genrock? Yeah, Admiral Akbar.
Akbar shows up in the third one. He's not in any of the movies. We're talking about from New Hope
from
through. He makes it all
from A New Hope. When he's like
Isn't
Red
what's
3.
his name there? The one that gives him in the First Order? In the first movie, when they're talking about blowing up Death Star the first time, that guy's in the third movie.
Come on, Dak?
He dies on Hoth.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought I saw him.
He dies on Hoth.
Yeah.
But no, so he gets promoted. He is now Red Leader. He gets the ultimate lock S foils and attack position fucking moment. You know, it's full circle for him. Sidious, Palpatine, the Emperor, whatever we want to call him, goes out like a bitch. You know who else goes out like a bitch? Snoke.
Yeah, he does.
Good point. Yeah.
We had no fucking idea who the fuck this person was for 2 movies, and he goes out like a bitch. We had no idea who the fuck Snoke was for 2 movies, and he goes out like a bitch. The only reason people are like, oh well, no, we got Emperor, we got Palpatine, we got this, we got trilogies, we got another fucking prequel trilogy.
Yeah, we got prequel
about that story.
Yeah,
so
that's
the whole fact that like everybody sitting here bitching about Snoke was built up to be this, it wasn't. He was already this. He was already there.
But he's not gone.
We don't know that yet.
We absolutely know that from all the trailers. We know that he is back.
I think you're talking about Snoke. I think you're talking about Snoke.
No, I mean, Palpatine is not dead. He wasn't taken out like a bitch. He's still alive.
A clone of him might be. Or
I don't think it's a clone. I don't think it's a clone. I think it's
he got thrown into he got thrown into a hyperdrive. Which got thrown into the core of that. He died.
I don't think he died.
Kevin, you look like you're biting your lip. Kevin, thoughts? You look like you really want to say something right now.
Oh no, I'm trying to not watch any of the Rise stuff. So.
Oh yeah, no. It's in the initial trailer, we hear his voice. And
I know that. I mean, I have poster and everything. I see his eyes and all that.
Looks.
Yeah.
Palpatine. But other than that, no.
I've heard the generic stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, like we're not.
Theory.
Yeah, Jay and I are not really watching anything else or reading anything.
No, I haven't watched any of the new trailers at all. Like I just watched the initial one. But theory is that he's got the same condition that Maul did.
That he just made himself a spider robot.
Well, he gets regular legs. Gets regular legs. Relax.
I think that he could have had the secret of Darth Plagueis and somehow utilize that to prolong his life somehow. Yeah. I don't know how they'll utilize it. I'm interested to see, but that's all I was thinking.
That or he just becomes a Sith ghost.
Yeah, well, yeah, or that.
We're talking about the Sith ghost.
It could be that simple, honestly.
Yeah. We finally get to see the unmasking of Vader. Honestly, shocked that George hasn't come back in and put in Hayden Christensen for this part.
I mean,
that's my biggest issue with the final scene in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
That literally is. Give Sebastian Shaw his due.
I'm watching Shaw. He has not gone back and put it in that spot.
So my only issue is every other Force Ghost is the age that they die.
Except Anakin.
Why does Anakin revert back to pre-Darth Vader? Because he doesn't redeem himself. I don't care what anybody says.
Well,
saving your child does not redeem you from killing and massacring children.
No, but what you said is every Force Ghost is the form of which you died. Everyone says Anakin Skywalker died the day Darth Vader was born.
Did not die.
There's your out. I agree, but I'm saying there's your out. Obi-Wan said Anakin died when Darth Vader was born because he was more machine than man kind of thing. I'm not agreeing that it was a smart play. I'm just saying there's technically the out for that.
I get their technical out, but their technical out can go blow it out their own assholes. Because guess what? He's not dead.
I agree with Doug.
His fucking life did not end. He literally just became an advanced human being. Are we saying that people die when they lose a limb? No. Are we saying that he still has an entire organism flowing through? I don't know where he poops. Maybe he poops in the back to tank. But he didn't die.
Does Darth Vader poop?
That's what I want to know. That's the side story. That's the side story I want. Fuck all the prequel stuff. I want to know where Darth Vader poops.
But yeah,
could be on this diagram somewhere. I don't know. Let's look.
This is the one thing I do like though that they added is once the Death Star blows up, the war is won. I do like that they went back and they showed celebrations from all the places from the prequels.
So my only question, because they should have did that after the party. They should have did that after the party, because how the fuck does the entire galaxy know that the fucking everything's dead?
Apparently, you can see the Death Star blow from like everywhere.
What? These things are like it takes hyperdrives to get to these planets.
12 parsecs away.
Starkiller Base made a pretty big boom.
Starkiller Base was the entire size of a big planet.
Yeah.
There's a difference. If you looked up at Jupiter right now, would you be able to see its moon blow up? No.
But you're also telling me that once they blew up the Death Star, that every rebellion ship didn't reach back to whatever bases.
Yes, I understand that, but they were showing cities that weren't under rebellion control.
But in that whole span of that time, watching it right now as it's going on the screen next to me, before we get the celebration, we get the fire burial of Vader. That's at night. So this is hours later before the celebration stuff has even happened. Because it's daytime on Endor when the Death Star blows up. We are now back on Endor. Luke is burning Vader at his grave. It is now nighttime. It has been hours.
No, I get what you're saying.
Time has passed at that point. Enough for the word to get out that the Empire has fallen.
I still think, due to other circumstances, the Empire was still holding strong after this event happened. Because nobody knew the Emperor was dead. They knew that the base was dead and killed and destroyed, because that happened with the Death Star 1.
Yeah.
But no one knew the Emperor was dead.
But in hindsight, did a lot of people actually know that the Emperor was the leader of the Empire,
Yes.
or were they just using Vader?
Yes, they did.
Okay.
Vader was just a weapon for Palpatine. Palpatine had full control over.
Comics, so I don't have that knowledge.
It's in episode 3. He has control over the entire Senate,
but not as Emperor Palpatine, leader of the Sith.
No, but even in this episode, when he comes down the ramp, I mean, it looks like a freaking North Korean or a Red Square parade.
That's inside the Empire. I'm talking about all the planets.
I got you.
Do they know?
I don't have that knowledge either. Then.
So here's what happened. There were planets that were freed by the rebellion, but the Emperor and the Empire had control over systems in majority of the systems in the universe, except for Outer Rim.
Except for the Outer Rim. Oh, okay.
So, like, places like Coruscant was still under the control of the Empire, and they showed Coruscant.
I will say that I do like that portion of this final scene. When they're showing the celebration on Coruscant, and they show the pull down of the Emperor statue, like it was the pull down of Saddam Hussein's statue.
I like that too.
Yeah. I was like, okay, cool. It adds a little contextual flavor to this, and now we get to see that this wasn't maybe like the world's greatest regime or empire that like it had kind of been built up via like everybody that we saw, because we never really saw life under Imperials. We never really saw life under imps. We got like looks from people who were fighting them, but we've never really gotten a story about what it's like to be just your average everyday Dexter Jetster under the Imperial fucking banners.
I love how you bring Dexter Jetster back into the fucking movie.
Dexter alone.
No, but see, I agree with you, Jay, but I think it would have been more well served after they had the party, because then you could make it seem like time had really passed, and then all these places are now understanding that. I think it just was ill placed in where it was placed for the movie. I understand everybody likes it. I like it. I think it's a great thing to go out on this high note, because we didn't know we were going to get 7, 8, and 9.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we knew we had 1, 2, 3 when he did the alterations. When we saw Anakin there, the biggest pet peeve that I have in that scene, the celebrations aside, regardless of time, is the placement of Hayden Christensen. You should have never taken that man out of that role. He earned that role for what he was doing. I really honestly think it should have been David under the mask the entire time.
Well, so it stopped being David Prowse after the first movie.
No, he was in that. He got credit. He got credit in the third one. He got credit in it.
Let me double check that.
I just watched the credit.
Kevin, your thoughts?
Similar to these guys, I think adding Hayden Christensen at the end is absolutely ridiculous. There's no.
I think you're right.
Yeah, I know. I was just trying. I wasn't proving you any point. I was just.
Kevin, continue.
Yeah. No, there's just no set precedent for replacing him, so I don't understand it, but it's done. So
the thing too is like Luke's looking at him, and when Anakin pops up, he'd be like, "Who the fuck's this guy?" Because that's not who he is. He doesn't see that guy. Like,
he's never seen a picture of him.
He's this long-haired guy next to him, and even Obi-Wan, like, because he's smiling, but even he looks over, he's like, "The fuck? How are you doing? Why do you look like this and you look like that? I want to look like you and McGregor, bitch."
Right. Why can't I go back to looking like you
and
McGregor?
All right. So first of all, if you're gonna change them, you should have changed them all to the younger form.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
The reason they didn't change Obi-Wan or Yoda is because you see them as Force Ghosts.
Well, and you see that, and you physically see those actors.
So my only problem with this entire movie was the switch from Davis Prowse to Sebastian Shaw. Sebastian Shaw shouldn't have been in that role. No offense, Sebastian, you're a great actor, but it should have been David Prowse. You had him in the suit the entire movie, and you basically took that away from him.
Yeah.
It's one of the things that I think Star Wars handled the most shitty. You got an epic voiceover actor. I understand that. He didn't have to say much lines at the end of the movie.
He didn't say much anyway.
That's what I'm saying. He didn't have to say much anyway. All he had to do was, and tell your sister you were right, and he dies.
I want to look on you with my own eyes.
Which is still the James Earl Jones voice at that point.
Yeah.
So it's like
you could have still dubbed over David and still given it James. Just visually let it be David.
It's just a hard thing. Like, I watched the documentary for like the whole entire thing to be built, and like it really hurt him that he wasn't at the end.
See, that makes it even worse. I didn't know that it did like hurt his feelings or whatever. Like that makes it even worse.
Thanks, Doug. You made us all see a puppy get sick, and then you made
No.
cry afterwards.
Sorry, guys.
Cry.
I'm gonna go cry myself to sleep. No, but like I said, this is probably of the the older the original trilogy. This is probably like my second favorite movie, but I see the flaws in it. I still like it, Yeah. The one big overarching flaw that I had was that they didn't give it to David to finish it out. And it's still, you look at an actor and they work so hard for you through 3 films. At least you could do is pay him the respect for that.
And I mean, I think in a nutshell, Doug, yes, we talk a lot of shit in these videos, but we love these movies.
Absolutely.
We love them. We could talk shit about them because even as we're talking shit, we still fucking love them.
Except for Attack of Clothes.
Fuck you, Doug. Phantom Menace. Except for Phantom Menace. Phantom Menace.
We're somewhere there.
I like Attack of the Clones.
Thank you, Kevin. See, yeah. Come on, Kevin. There you go. There you go.
So rough and coarse. Imagine Anakin saying it in a Brooklyn accent.
That's it.
I hate sand. It's rough. It's coarse. It gets everywhere. I killed them like animals.
Would have been a better movie. Would have been a better movie.
Don't do a Star Wars version of the Irish.
He's never going to have any respect.
Robert De Niro has Anakin. Let's deep fake it, guys.
Let's deep fake it, this motherfucker.
All right. Anyway, guys, that's the original trilogy. 6 movies down, 2 more to go. We're almost there. I hope you guys enjoyed watching this video of Return of the Jedi. I hope you guys enjoyed watching all the videos we've done so far. If you guys did, go ahead and hit that like button. If you like this video is worth sharing, go ahead and hit that share button. But most importantly, don't forget to hit that subscribe button to the channel so you guys stay up to date with all the latest videos pop up on Sean's Movies Crusades. And, of course, don't forget to follow us on all the social media outlets we see below. Coming up next, we ride into the new trilogy. Very, very divisive film these next 2 ones are, especially between Jay Burns and myself and Kirk Kowalski. I'm sure Jay's going to take this next one as basically a warm-up round for episode 8 because I am a Force Awakens lover. He's a Force Awakens hater, whereas Kirk Kowalski is a Last Jedi hater and Jay is a Last Jedi lover. There's going to be a lot of fighting in these next 2 videos.
Can we be friends?
Because they have bad opinions about good movies.
That is the beauty of the movie Crusaders is that we can fight and still be friends. And these next 2 videos are going to be filled with that. So I hope you guys are ready for the next couple videos as we ride into the next trilogy leading to the eventual release of the final one, episode 9, Rise of Skywalker. So I hope you guys tune into that. But until next time, Jay. Actually, no, Jay's going to go last because Jay always has some great shit to say. Kevin, where can the people find you?
Oh, the good people can find me on Facebook at Kevin Poss. And you can check out my Letterboxd account if you want to read some halfway decent, halfway crappy movie reviews. I've just watched a shit ton of Christmas movies. And my Letterboxd account is Kevin J. Poss, and go check it out. Thank you.
That's POSS. You fine ladies and germs.
Thank you. Thank you.
Cassell, you always bring a lively energy to these videos, whether they're on topic or not. Where can the people find you?
I seem to be your chaos theory. When I come in here, it gets chaotic.
When it's you and Jay together, it's chaos. I bet if Jay wasn't here, you would probably be on your best behavior.
If I wasn't here, this video would have been an hour shorter.
That is
2021, baby. We're going to rock this world.
If Jay was not here, these videos would all be an hour long.
And then you know what? You wouldn't get any views because they would be boring as shit. Oh, we like this.
Wow, way to say the
like this
without you.
Everybody is shit without me. Do you not know me? Excuse you.
Doug, where can the people find you?
Yeah, check out The Adventures of Transvail. Quick, easy search. You can find it on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and here on YouTube every other week, every other Friday. We upload an episode usually about 8:30 EST. Also, find me over on Take 3, where next year I'm bringing back Bloody Manor, but it's called The Manor, and we talk about all movies, as well as a movie trivia fantasy league updater, which I'm really excited for. 2020 is going to be a great year. You know what's going to be better? 2021, when I move out to Los Angeles. Let's do it.
And to Mr. Ego himself, Jay Burns, Jay, the Jedi turned Sith Lord. Where can the people find you, Jay?
Oh my God, man. You can find me practicing my mental gymnastics for the shit that I'm going to have to go through for these next 2 videos for you and Kirk. Little word of warning to Mr. Kirk Kolwakowski. Buddy.
Oh, he's cutting a promo.
Buddy. No, I'm not going to cut a promo. Actually, I love Kirk. I love having conversations with Kirk. And we usually see eye to eye on a lot of things. So it's really weird that we don't see eye to eye on this video. And maybe it's because he is of the older generation. But I'm getting ready to work through everything you got. And there will definitely be several OK Boomers dropped during our battle, even though you can tell us all you want that you're not a boomer. You definitely are. You and Brian. As much as you want to.
Wow. Hot sauce from the Sith Lord. What can people find you, Jay?
You can find me on Facebook at jburns253. You can or on Facebook at jburns. You can find me on Instagram at jburns253. I'm sorry, bargang_burns. You can find me on Twitter at jburns253. You can find me on Letterboxd at jbr253. Where I only have like 7 movies right now, and I shit on a majority of your childhood. But I write fucking like lengthy column pieces. I haven't updated it with my Last Jedi one yet, but the last time I checked, I'm at like 5,736 words for the Last Jedi, and that was after watching it 5 times in the theaters. So suck a dick. I will break down the good, the bad, and we're about to talk about the ugly the next time you see my face.
Oh, there's such a diss there, but I'm not going to take it. That's probably the most tamed where can they find you, Jay, we've gotten so far.
It is.
You
can also find me mentioning. Hold on, since you want to go there, you can also find me tricking alt porn stars into playing games of Sabacc, where they don't lose the Millennium Falcon, they just lose pictures of their butthole. Don't worry, it looks like the Sarlacc pit before Lucas got to it.
Yes. What?
You should have ignited it, Kevin. It was perfect, bro.
And, at first, I was like, "What are you doing?" I was like, "Oh, I think he's doing." There we go. God, wow, this went south fast. Thanks, bro. I was giving you props going. That was tape. Hold my beer. Let me get in this. So
look, you didn't have to say nothing, and then you said something. All right.
That's true.
I was gonna say that was like
you set yourself up for that, sir.
I poked the Jay and I got burned. My bad. Anyway, you can find me on Walkthrough on Facebook, and like I said, all the social media outlets you see below. Next video, like I said, Force Awakens. It's pretty much probably going to be me versus Jay, with everyone else just kind of chiming in. Until next time, Movie Crusaders, in case we don't see you, good morning, good afternoon, good night, and may the Force be with you. Luke Skywalker's a bitch Sith Lord.
I'll see you in